And Secretary, we've had this discussion before, but Article 8, Section 12 of the Constitution requires a financial plan that goes out 5 years from every department. And every year thus far, we're getting flat lines for the succeeding years from your department and a number of others. Now, those outlying years, for the last year, for example, I mean, you just got $31.9 million, but you're requesting $850 million more, or $850,000 more. That, can you operate with just the 31.9?
So
because,
that,
I mean,
the increase represents cost to carry. So that's what we anticipate our additional costs to be.
Okay, and why aren't you doing cost to carry going the succeeding years, which is what's required under the Constitution?
That I would have to ask my fiscal director. I'm not sure. I would guess that it's probably pretty difficult for us to calculate what the cost to carry would be whenever you take into consideration.
Our appropriations team in the IFO have done that for years, and they've been pretty much on the mark. And as I said, we've been talking about this for a couple of years, and it's not like this is the first time that it's been brought up.
I actually think it is the first time that you've brought it. It's not familiar to me. So we'll definitely look into that.
Thank you. Before I forget about it, Senator Phillips Hill brought up the permitting. I have just under 2 acres of property where my house sits, and I would like to put some French drain in there and also level out the contours of it, but I don't want to go through the process of a permit with it. I know how to operate a backhoe and a bulldozer, and just doing general landscaping on that. It's a simple process. I don't understand why I can't just go out and do it and needing a permit for something like that.
As long as it's not in a wetland, I think you should be okay. But you're not supposed to drain a wetland system because they're regulated.
It's not a wetland, but I do have all the stuff coming out of my burrow right out into my yard, and it's a little bit of a low. But my tractor my lawn tractor sinks into the ground about 2 months out of the year.
Yeah, we can follow up and let you know if you actually do need a permit or not.
But there are a lot of folks that are, I mean, people don't want to have, when they've got projects like this, they don't want to have to. And I've got a wetland right next to it, and it doesn't drain in. Well, it drains it across about 20 feet of my yard, and I'm not going to mess with that. But people don't want to have to mess with that kind of stuff or have to deal with it. The well plugging and the recycling fund, the hazardous materials funds. Has the governor come up with any kind of, or proposed any plan to fund those things other than taking money out of the general fund?
Not to my knowledge. That would be a question for our budget secretary.
All right. I'm considering legislation to propose an impact fee on wind and solar that's similar to what's done with the natural gas, and to create a fund that would actually pay for that. Or the portion of the impact fee that goes to the counties, the municipal governments, could be used for that while the main fee builds up. Because with what I've just recently learned with Frito-Lay not allowing any potato farmers to send to their factory for processing potatoes that were produced on a former solar field, I'm very concerned with that, and there are impacts that need to be addressed with the cleanup of wind and solar as well. The western states are already experiencing that kind of stuff, and I think this is an avenue I want to go down, because with the well plugging, with the hazardous the recycling, I don't think they were adequately addressed as far as the funding. But would you have any objections to that?
I would just, the devil's in the details. I was around and helped to draft some of those provisions to the original impact fee. I think at that time, the focus was really around the impacts to the municipalities from, the truck traffic, the noise, those types of things. I am not aware of any contamination in Pennsylvania from solar fields. I will have to look into, what you're referring to. I was not aware of the Frito-Lay potato chip and potatoes on solar farms issue. So, that would be things that we would have to look into.
Thank you.